Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack the stuff you're hearing about and really get to the heart of what's going on. And if you're listening, you've definitely heard the AI buzz. I mean, it's everywhere, right? But lately, there's this one term that keeps popping up more and more: AI agents. Sounds super futuristic, powerful, like a digital helper that could change your life or even make you rich. But here's where it gets really tricky. Alongside all the cool, legitimate stuff happening, there's this huge kind of hidden wave of fraud, scams, using this exact idea. We're talking about these get-rich-quick schemes dressed up in AI language, promising you can make a fortune automatically. So our mission today: cut through all that noise. We pulled together insights from, well, a lot of places: academic research, industry reports from Gartner, Carnegie Mellon, even direct warnings from regulators like the FTC and the California DFPI. We want to help you see the gap, and it's a big one, between the hype and the documented reality.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they're just taking old scams and putting a shiny new AI label on them. It taps into our excitement. So think of this deep dive as your guide. We want to help you spot the difference between real tech and, frankly, the deceptive claims, and give you some tools, some self-defense strategies.
Okay, let's get into it then. This term AI agent, it's thrown around so much, sometimes it feels like it barely means anything specific. How do we actually define a real AI agent? What makes it different?
Right. So the formal definition is basically an autonomous system. That means it can sense its environment, make decisions, and take actions to reach goals without someone telling it every single step. Autonomy is key. To do that, it needs things like reasoning, planning, memory, short term for what it's doing now, long term to learn, and crucially, it needs to adapt. And often the brain behind these advanced agents is a large language model, an LLM, that gives it the understanding and reasoning power.
And it's not just tech jargon, is it? You've got huge companies, Microsoft, NVIDIA, basically saying 2025 is the year of the AI agent. That creates this halo of credibility. Seems like the perfect setup for scammers to exploit that, right?
Absolutely perfect. They know people have heard these names, heard the buzz from sources they trust. So yeah, they leverage that, makes their scams seem more legit. But it's so important to understand the difference, the sort of agentic spectrum. You've got your basic bots at one end, reactive, rule-based, like, simple FAQ chatbots. Then you have AI assistants, sometimes called co-pilots. They're smarter, use natural language, help you out. But you are still in control. Think AI helping you write an email. And then you get to AI agents. These are proactive. They have goals. They act autonomously to do complex multi-step things like booking a whole trip for you based on your preferences and budget without you micromanaging. And sometimes you hear agentic AI, which usually means multiple agents working together on really complex stuff.
All right, so there's this clear spectrum: bots, assistants, then agents. But what happens when people deliberately muddy those waters? Is there a name for that? And how does that feed into these scams?
Yeah, that's a really critical point. It's called agent washing.
Agent washing. Okay.
It's deliberately calling a simple bot or an assistant an AI agent to make it sound way more advanced and valuable than it is. See, a real modern agent, the kind using an LLM, has a specific structure. It's got the core model, the LLM brain, a planning module to figure out the steps, a memory module, and this is really important, a tool use module.
Tool use. What's that?
It's how the agent interacts with the world, using APIs, ways software talks to other software browsing websites, accessing databases, stuff like that. Being able to actually use these tools effectively is a huge differentiator, and it's something the scammy offerings often just got fake, or they don't have it at all.
Okay, so for our listeners, this is super practical. If someone's selling you an AI agent, you should be asking some tough questions like,
Yeah.
what LLM is it using? How does it actually plan out tasks with multiple steps?
Yeah.
How does it remember things from one step to the next? And crucially, what tools can it use? How does it connect to the real world?
Exactly. And if they can't give you clear technical answers, that's a massive red flag. Big time.
All right, so now we know what a real agent should look like. It makes spotting the fakes easier. How are these scams actually working? How do they hook people with this promise of automated riches?
Well, the biggest one you see everywhere, especially on social media, YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, is the AI agency in a box pitch.
Ah, yeah. Seen those ads.
Right. The promise is always like no coding needed, easy setup, sell these AI agent services to local businesses for thousands a month, make $10 in 10 days, that kind of thing. But here's the twist. The real target isn't the local business. It's the person buying the agency in a box. They're the ones being scammed.
So the product isn't really the AI service.
No. The product is the dream of owning an agency. The money comes from selling overpriced, usually garbage courses and locking people into hidden subscriptions. Like people who've seen these say, the only ones making money are the guys selling the dream. The AI agency is just the lure.
And the courses themselves. We looked into one, Coursive. People were calling it complete garbage.
Yeah, that sounds typical. Complaints said it taught literally nothing useful. Probably just auto-generated fluff.
And worse, they allegedly refused refunds even with a guarantee and trapped people in recurring payments they didn't realize they signed up for. Classic bait and switch.
It's the complete opposite of legitimate learning platforms. Places like Coursera, deeplearning.ai, Hugging Face, they teach you the real stuff. Fundamentals, Python coding, frameworks like LangGraph, Crew AI. Real skill comes from, well, actual learning, often free online resources, and just getting your hands dirty practicing, not these quick fix courses.
Okay, so besides the agency scam, there's this other angle, the crypto AI connection. Investment scams using AI buzzwords.
Oh, yeah. That's blowing up. Regulators like the California DFPI are warning about it specifically. These schemes promise crazy high returns from, AI-powered crypto trading, too good to be true profits. But really, they're often just old Ponzi or pyramid schemes.
Using new money to pay off old investors.
Exactly. And they use AI not just as a buzzword, but to make the scam look more credible, like using AI-generated faces for fake CEOs. And voice cloning is a huge problem now. They only need 3 seconds of audio maybe from a social media video to create a really convincing fake voice.
Wow.
3 seconds.
Yeah. The Identity Theft Resource Center saw a 148% jump in these scams between April 2024 and March 2025. They use it for grandparent scams, making you think your grandchild is in trouble and needs money wired immediately. It sounds just like them.
That's terrifying. Which brings us to maybe the core issue here, this massive gap between what the marketing says these agents can do and what they actually can do today. It's almost funny if it weren't so dangerous. It's a huge disconnect.
Yeah.
You look at Gartner's 2025 report, they predict over 40% of actual corporate agentic AI projects will be canceled by the end of 2027.
40% canceled. Why?
Costs spiraling out of control, the value just isn't clear, and the risks aren't being managed properly. So much for easy profits, right? And the performance. A Carnegie Mellon study found top AI agents failed basic office tasks almost 70% of the time. They only succeeded about 30%. That's not reliable, not even close for unsupervised work.
Yeah, we saw this comparison table, and it just lays it bare. Marketing says, fully autonomous agents. Reality, assisted work needs a human watching. Marketing replaces entire job functions. Reality augments specific tasks and fails a lot.
Right.
Marketing, immediate ROI. Reality, 13, 18-month setup and that 40% cancellation risk we just mentioned.
Yep.
Marketing, plug and play. Reality needs tons of integration, data work, training.
It's complex stuff.
Marketing, low cost and high efficiency. Reality, one task, maybe 30 steps, can cost over $6, often more than paying a person.
The compute cost is significant.
And finally, perfect accuracy. Reality. Hallucination is rampant. 75% of developers say agents just invent functions or APIs that don't exist, or just fake finishing a task.
Yeah, it's like you ask it to book a flight, and it confidently says, all done.
Yeah.
But it actually booked, I don't know, a canoe trip using a travel site it made up. The confidence is there, but the output is just wrong. Plausibly wrong, which is tricky.
So why do they fail so often? What are the underlying reasons?
Well, several things. They really struggle with ambiguity. Anything unexpected, like a simple website pop-up, can just throw them completely off course. They lack real-world common sense, Then there's hallucinations, making stuff up but sounding sure about it. That makes them unreliable for anything needing accuracy. They're also expensive to run. The computation needed often costs more than human labor for the same task. And security and privacy are huge issues. To be useful, they need broad permissions, which opens up risks. There's even this concern about agentic misalignment, where agents trying to achieve a goal might do harmful things. Like in simulations, they've done things like blackmail to get what they were programmed to get.
Which leads us back to agent washing. You mentioned Gartner thinks only about 130 companies really offer true agents out of thousands claiming to.
That's the estimate.
Yeah.
A huge number are just mislabeling simpler tech.
So the key question remains, does it use an LLM for reasoning? And can it use tools or execute functions? Both have to be true.
Both have to be true for it to be considered a genuine agent in the modern sense. If not, it's probably just a fancy bot or assistant being overhyped. And the whole market is fueled by this intense hype, this corporate FOMO fear of missing out.
Right. Everyone wants in on AI.
Yeah, and reports suggest even some venture capitalists are investing without really understanding the tech, just chasing the buzz. Meanwhile, the professionals actually trying to implement this stuff in enterprises. They mostly see these AI agencies being sold online as totally unviable. The money right now is in selling the idea of the agency, not actually running one successfully for clients. It's the classic bubble sign rebranding, old tech, hype outpacing reality. That 40% cancellation forecast from Gartner. It's the logical outcome. What's really insightful isn't just the tech limits, it's how the newness and the complexity make people lower their guard. Scammers aren't just exploiting ignorance, they're exploiting our excitement and maybe our fear of being left behind. Makes us less critical right when we need to be most critical.
But it's not just hype and disappointment. Regulators are stepping in, aren't they? Taking action.
They absolutely are. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission in the U.S., launched Operation AI Comply back in September 2024. It specifically targets companies using AI hype deceptively. They've already shut down operations like FBA Machine and Ascend Ecom. Those were textbook AI agency in a box scams, defrauding people out of tens of millions. The operators got hit with permanent bans.
Wow, okay.
And they went after Do Not Pay, the world's first robot lawyer. The FTC said their claims were unsubstantiated, no real testing. Now they can't make those kinds of claims without solid proof.
So beyond the specific agent scams, AI is also making old scams more potent.
Definitely. It's like steroids for traditional fraud. Impersonation is a huge one. We talked about voice cloning, that 148% spike, used in grandparent scams, fake celebrity endorsements asking for crypto. It's incredibly effective. Then fake reviews. The FTC cracked down on an AI writing tool called Writar, specifically because it was being used to generate floods of deceptive reviews. And phishing emails are getting scarily good. LLMs can write perfect, personalized emails that sail past spam filters and trick even savvy users. Much harder to spot than the old typo-filled scams.
But what's the official line from regulators? Are there new rules for AI?
The main message, like FTC Chair Lena Khan said, is basically, using AI to trick people is illegal. There's no AI exemption. Existing laws against fraud and deception apply fully. They are updating rules, though. The FTC finalized a rule against impersonating governments and businesses early in 2024, and they're looking to extend that to impersonating individuals, too. And the FCC banned AI voices in robocalls. So you see a coordinated effort across agencies. State regulators are active, too. California's DFPI, for example, keeps warning about those crypto AI scams and lists clear red flags. Crazy high return promises, pressure to recruit friends, social media hype, and especially those AI-generated fake CEO faces or voices.
Okay, so there's a lot to watch out for. What can people listening actually do? How do you protect yourself but also spot maybe the real opportunities?
Right, good question. For anyone thinking of starting something in this space, like a real AI business, not a scam, forget the easy money pitch. The real path is learning the fundamentals. Get comfortable with Python, maybe look into frameworks like LangGraph or Crew AI. Build stuff, practice, solve real problems. That's how you build value. For investors, be skeptical. Look for those red flags. Vague tech claims. Sounds like old tech just rebranded, no actual autonomy shown, no clear path for how it fits into real businesses, focusing only on flashy consumer stuff without proof it works.
And for just everyday users, consumers, what's the advice?
It really boils down to changing your default setting, from trusting automatically to healthy skepticism and proactive verification. The motto needs to be verify, don't trust. Assume something could be fake until proven otherwise.
Verify, don't trust.
Yeah.
Okay, how does that look in practice?
Okay, for phishing or impersonation, never click links in unexpected emails or messages. If someone contacts you claiming to be, say, your bank or the IRS, don't trust the contact info they give you. Go find the official website or phone number yourself and contact them directly. And never give personal info if someone calls or emails you asking for it unexpectedly, for voice or video fakes. If you get a frantic call from a loved one needing money, hang up, call them back on the number you know is theirs. Talk to your family about maybe having a safe word, something only you would know, to confirm identity in a weird situation. And with deepfake videos, be critical. Look for weird blinking, bad lip syncing, odd lighting. They're getting better, but often still not perfect. And maybe the most important thing, report suspicious stuff. Always report fraud.ftc.gov, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3. Reporting helps law enforcement track these scams and protect others.
It's not all doom and gloom, though, right? There are real uses for this tech, even now.
Oh, absolutely. The key is realistic expectations. Think of AI as a tool to augment people, to assist them, not to replace them overnight or generate free money.
Makes sense.
So near term, where does it work? Often in automating specific, well-defined, repetitive tasks, like in social media management, Real AI tools can help repurpose content across platforms, schedule posts intelligently based on engagement, help moderate comments, analyze engagement data, useful stuff. But the best practice is always monitor it first. Have a human in the loop, especially initially. Start small. Build trust in the tool before you give it more responsibility. It's about thoughtful integration, not blind faith.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. We've seen this dual reality of AI agents. Amazing potential, sure, but also just old scams wearing new high-tech clothes. And the main takeaway seems pretty clear. The hype is way, way ahead of the actual reality right now, and that gap. That's where the trouble brews.
Exactly. And remember, the regulators are watching, and they're using existing laws quite aggressively. But ultimately, the best defense isn't just technical, it's educational. We need more digital literacy, more critical thinking, more proactive verification. That's the most lasting protection against scams that will keep evolving.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this. The real value from AI isn't going to come from chasing these get-rich-quick illusions. It'll come from engaging with the tech thoughtfully, carefully, with open eyes about what it can do now and what it can't. Ask yourself, what part of my own work, my own life, could genuinely benefit from smart AI help? And how can I make sure that when I do use it, I'm doing it in a way that's effective and trustworthy?